Pass.
All right. 3 stone handicap game. This one, I'm going to try to play some handicap games because I think some people have been requesting them. In an even game, I would usually just play E16. But since it is a handicap game, I'm going to go with a little bit more of an aggressive move for me because I do think that, like you do want to generate more chances for mistakes in a handicap game. And to me, like if you just play normal, uh, and
If you just play normal,
you just wait for people to make mistakes or something like that, it doesn't quite work as well. So we'll see how this works. I'm not, of course, I don't really play this sequence all that often, so it will be somewhat interesting to see how this is played. Okay, so here you would definitely play D. Yeah, you would definitely play that. Letting me play here afterwards is a pretty big loss for him, because you're just giving me this corner and you're not getting that much. I mean, the thing is, even when you play against stronger players in handicap, you still want to play about the same way you usually do. So, like, when I cover over here, you would definitely play D14. I might take C14, but I don't think that's a very good play for me. It's a little late now, so I'm going to approach this way. He's obviously just trying to collect as much territory as possible at this point, which isn't a bad idea. Huh. I think the correct play is to connect this, because he can't come up this way. And now I get this advantage. Getting this, definitely, like that's a small advantage for me right there. It's definitely a small advantage for me right there. I almost want to do this, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I think I would, playing this way, I would probably play D3. Because to me, like, going over here, this is actually worth extending. I'm actually going to jump. Okay, that's not going to be worth answering, right? Actually, you know what? Taking this is actually worth it right now. That's actually fairly big, and it kind of like solidifies this group. All right. Actually, you know what? I might have been able to, like, this might have been better off, because if he does that, I still have to connect, and there's a chance for here. So when he played this, I might have been better off just playing the tiger's mouth here. He does get a little bit of influence here, but as you can see, like, the territory, I've gained all the territory, and he didn't get that much here. Black is still definitely ahead at this point. I would say black is still definitely ahead at this point for sure, but it's no longer nearly a 3 stone advantage anymore, because he lost about, I think he lost about a stone advantage here, and then like a small a bit. I gained a small advantage here and a decent advantage over here. The thing is, like, he hasn't managed to gain that much territory. And playing a weaker player from a stronger player's perspective, from a perspective of a stronger player, if you're playing a weaker player, you much rather have them get, you'd actually much rather have them get influence rather than solid territory. because one of the tenets of one of the things about playing weaker players is like they don't know how to use that influence as well as you do, so you can always mitigate the effects of their influence. I don't know if I should answer that actually. Is there anything else that's that big? No, I'll go ahead and answer that. The thing is, you can mitigate the effects of their influence, but if they actually have territory, like solid territory, it's hard to mitigate the influence of that. That doesn't, like, there's not much territory here because I can also go down here later on. So I'm not going to answer that. And so that gives me a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to shop in here right now. I don't know if this is a good move right now. Oh, that just gives me a huge advantage on the corner. So I think here I would definitely play R16 and try to fight this in the corner, because that takes, like, me giving me the ability to do that takes care of like this invasion down here as well, and it gives me your corner. I don't know if he played R16 if I could actually live in here or not. Like, the corner's not really clean with this, but with playing O17 instead of O16, it should be a little bit cleaner. But that gives away a big advantage here. I'm going to let him just have that stone. I don't think it's that big. You know what? Might as well just do this. Might as just well do this. You would not connect that. It's not big enough. So I'm just going to come here. To flatten out this particular influence. At this point, I probably like white shapes better because white just has a lot more territory on the board right now. Well, I wouldn't say a lot more, but more, because white has this entire side. And white can actually just slowly take advantage of these things. Black actually has to make use of like this influence over here to get territory over here. Because if he doesn't, then white's advantage just becomes too big. So I'm going to play this just because it's easier, and it also grows my chance of getting territory here. That's not necessary. There's not too much you're protecting down here. So right now it's a tough decision. You want to mitigate his ability over here to actually make territory. So flying up, like jumping here, doing this is weird because he has that move, but I don't think he would actually use this move. So I'm actually going to jump this. I don't think this is necessarily. And then if you let me block down here, though, it's a little bit of an issue. Because now I've confined you to this little bit of territory, and now I'm not worried about it anymore. Like, when I've already got solid territory, I'm just trying to confine you to where you can't make too much territory off your influence. So there's a weird choice I have here. I can do this. He comes up, and he would plow through that, but I can get the bottom. But I think I'm just going to connect here because I don't want him to plow through this top part. And like mitigating his ability to get territory here is well worth letting him hane that, in my opinion. So with that goal actually being accomplished, I'm going to actually expand my potential for territory right here. See, like, that move isn't worth very much because there's just not much territory here. Plus, I still have that move. So I'm going to come up here. If he plays this move, he expands a little bit here, and he decreases my opportunity here. I don't actually think these are the biggest moves. Like, honestly, like stuff like K2 is probably almost as big. And remember, I still have the option for H18 as well. I'm just not going to play it right now. At this point, white is decently far ahead on the handicap board. There's not much to gain up here. Just having the Sente is pretty big because he does actually have to respond. Even if he gets this, there's maybe like 10 points up here. I'm going to play this just to solidify my territory in here. And if he does that, that actually is problematic. Oh, whatever. I can just connect, actually. Actually, no, that was a bad idea. My bad. That was actually a pretty bad move. There's not... Yeah, I read that. Okay. That's fine, because I can just play this Ko. I'm obviously going to extend this way. If he wants the stone, like, that's just my mistake. I'll let him have it. It's not that big. I mean, yeah. There's not much there. Like, you're playing these moves, but there's not really that much territory there. There's very little territory for him. There's very little territory for him to gain here. So these moves really don't have that much of a point. And the thing is, like, when you're playing moves like in the late game, you have to have a goal for those moves. Like, these type of moves, you're making them. Yes, you're building influence over this way, but I already have this stone at E10 that you can't kill. So, like, your potential for territory is limited to this, which is like 4 or 5 points. And that's if you actually play another stone. So, due to that, like, it's just not, there's just not that much there. Same thing here, like you can get this territory, but if I play H18, you have to give up some of the bottom points, and it's just not worth it. This is not good because I can just easily do this. And this is Sente for me. So I can actually extend here. So it would have been better if he just played F9 or something. Let's go ahead and do this because it's probably Sente. And yeah. And now, like, you know, I get freedom to do something like this, which probably is worth a Sente like 4 or 5 points. It's really little things like these that that's a bad move. You cannot let me get the stone. You have to connect. Giving up this is going to be a lot more, worth a lot more than any territory you're protecting here. This is actually worth it, because if I play J19, he can't completely block. And plus it's like another point or two, so I'll take that. Just going to connect this is worth more. This is not worth it. That's not worth any points, so you wouldn't connect that right now. The thing is, like, if he blocks, I can actually play Ko, which he didn't block. I think you guys will be, like, you guys can, when we review this game, you guys can kind of see the progression of, you guys can definitely kind of see the progression of, like, how the points actually went. Because at mid-game, this game was actually still pretty close, but now I'm ahead maybe by like 30, 40 points at this point. there's not enough liberties down here for him to actually start anything, so I'm not really afraid of this. And extend down here first. It's going to be important. So I think this is the biggest, because if he plays here, still get a couple of points here. If I play here, he doesn't have to respond, but there's no points here anymore. S10 and S14. S10? This? There's nothing here. There's nothing here. You don't have enough liberties to compete with me. I might fix this later when all the liberties are tightened, but right now there's just nothing that you can do here. There's also nothing you can do here. I mean, like, you have the double cut right here, but if you just go back, I'll just play this. You don't. It's a matter of fact that you don't really have enough liberties to really compete. You might want to try it because you're losing by a lot right now, but it wouldn't really work. This is pretty big. That's not that big, but the other one was. There's nothing, he shouldn't answer that one. There's no point in answering that. The other thing about Endgame is you can't answer every move that your opponent does. If you actually answer every move that your opponent does, I'm just going to go ahead and connect this. Because if he tightens all the liberties and he hanes here, there might actually be something here. So I'm just going to connect this right now. There's nothing here right now, but later on there might be. And it gives me free reign to like do a lot of stuff that I want to do, so yeah. So like in the end game, you really don't want to basically be answering every single move your opponent makes. Because if you do that, you're just going to lose points. You got to look at like which moves are actually worth the most. Like that probably wasn't worth answering. If anything, he should have done this first. I would have had to connect. Now, I don't really know which moves are worth that much right now, but because there's not a lot of big moves on the board. I'll go ahead and connect this so I can actually come in here next time. That's also not worth very much. I'm just going to come in here. Him playing here is actually pretty big, a little bigger, because it forces me to take this stone. So even though I didn't kill any groups this game, even though I did not kill any groups this game, this was a game of like where I got a lot of advantages in the beginning of the game. And then I used those advantages. I used those advantages to basically carry through the rest of the game. And like how I grew all my advantages, yeah, that's the biggest move right now. I should have went there first, but it's not really all that relevant right now. It's not a bad move. I'm just gonna do this first. Do this. You can do this and make those points there. That's pretty big. I have to take that, but there was nothing I could actually do about that. I think he should have Atari'd here first before that because I would have connected. The thing is, when you're closing games, you want to look for all the senteis possible, and you want to make all the sentei plays possible. Because each sentei play you get, you're gaining a point or so. And in a close game, that matters a lot in the ending game. This particular game, it's not completely important because this territory just got too big. But like if the game is actually close, like stuff like that can easily win you or lose you a game.
Pass.
And that's it.
Remove the dead stones.
So I mean, like, it's not bad that he lost by 50 points because like this is the strength difference between me and him is a lot more than 3 stones. Like the strength difference between the strength difference between me and him is a lot more than 3. But we'll just go back and review this game because handicap games, I think a lot of more people have been requesting them. I personally don't like playing them all that much. But, you know, like 3 stone handicap is generally like a 30-point start. I can't get rid of the Comey 6.5, but a 3-point handicap is like generally like a 30-point head start. So the thing is, like, you would obviously play here. The thing is, you have to play regularly. If I do this, I mean, this is a decent advantage for. This is actually a decent advantage for black. It's a decent advantage for black. So the thing is, like, when I do this, you know, like, letting me do that, you basically gave up, like, you know, 5 points of your advantage right there. So even though it's not devastating, and then, like, jumping here, instead of just securing one of your corners, you lose a couple more points. Each move in the beginning counts a lot. And this is just, since this move doesn't threaten me over here, I'm going to approach elsewhere. This isn't threatening because if you do this, I can just do this. I mean, there's really not much you can do about this. Yeah, you can get a bit of influence, but then you kind of give me another stone. So you give me another free move. So like this, although this is worth a little bit because it does build up your influence in here, it's not worth as much. So you're losing like a little bit of value trading this for this, definitely. I'm going to go here. This is fine. Generally, this is going to be better. You build up your influence over here, and then you do something like this. Because you have influence over here, you can make more points, and then you have the corner over here as well. So this is, I mean, this isn't bad. Also, like with this, you might just want to like invade here. This, I can do this. It's not that big of a deal. So you might just want to like basically pincer these two right here. Or even like just not answer this and just do something like this. Because yeah, this sounds like a big deal, but it's not any danger to you. And that move just might be worth more right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can either do that or do this. I think both of them have about the same value, but I don't want him to pincer here. Or I don't really want him to pincer this way. So I just took the safer route here, which is fine because it is worth this move is worth a lot. This is going to be better. Like this move looks really big, but if you do this, like the 3/3 obviously has the invasion, and that might have been like the correct move for me on the 3/3, but I just chose to approach this way, and yeah, the 3/3 was probably the right invasion for me here. Just chose to approach, like right now, if I was playing black, I would probably either do this or just straight up do this. If white does this, I mean, there's plenty of ways you can actually, there's plenty of ways, you know, that you can deal with white in this way. So, or I would just do this. If white takes the 2, you basically either do this or do this. And you get the solid territory as black. Here, it's not like here. It's not too bad, but I feel like you're giving up part of the, you're giving up a little of the corner. And in a handicap game, I'm not a huge fan of that. Here, I could have just like here. I don't want the double hane. Honestly, it's not that big. If the corners weren't taken, I'd go elsewhere. But right now, I think it's acceptable to do that. This is not necessary at all. It's much better to go over here. Letting me have this is not a big deal. You're not really being pressured here. Or like the best thing to do is just ignore me right here, and then go somewhere else. I mean, you have certain like that securing that corner is very big. Securing this corner is very big. Maybe even just jumping here, building your influence here, maybe something like that. Trading this and this is not, and honestly, I could have just ignored this because you're not really threatening this. Trading this and this, either way, I don't think is actually advantageous for black. This might have been better for white, honestly, but I just extended downward. I don't think trading this for the corner is that advantageous. Technically, it's not bad. You do get this influence, but the thing is, like, for a stronger player, I'm willing to give you that in a handicap game because I'm just going to bet that you don't know how to use the influence as well as I do. And the thing is, like, when you do this, I probably should just come up this way. If, do this, and then I would go elsewhere. And that would be an advantage to me because I get another free move. So I'm going to go ahead and capture this, secure my group. I think for me, I would have just done this first. Force white to either connect or do something else. So you see, like, when he does that, I immediately do this. Come up. I think this is like these two trades are advantage to black because he does actually get a little bit more on his territory over here. There's not much here for white at all. This is just make sure he doesn't like cover me. But then I'm going to do this, solidify my territory. So the thing is, like, there is still this invasion down here. But the thing is, like, if you do this, then, I do kind of have an easy way into the corner. So you can destroy my territory here, but there are consequences for your corner. Like, I can also do this. If you jump out and I decide to take your corner, then you lose the corner space, and you trade the corner space for the side space. This move is, realistically, I shouldn't have answered this at all. Like, letting you Atari this and connecting, there's not that much out here. But I decided to answer that. I shouldn't have. I should have went somewhere else. This is not a move you make, like, because if you think about this move, like, what exactly are you protecting? Like, if this move doesn't exist, you're confined to this territory down here. But since this move does exist, you are adding like 3 or 4 points onto your potential, which is really not worth it. And plus, if you really want the 3 or 4 points, you also give up this move. Now, if white does this right now, I would just go ahead and take this because it doesn't really matter. There's like this down here is worth more than this up here. So I wouldn't actually do that as white. But this just adds 3 or more points onto you. And there's plays that are well worth more than 3 or 4 points. So I decided to invade in here. Probably not the smartest thing in the world, but I decided to invade in here. Maybe just jumping up or even doing something like this is going to be better than invading in there right now. But I decided to invade. This move, I would either come down right now and do this, or I would decide to fight it like this. Because, I mean, even if you decide to do that and, and it becomes like, and somehow, if, you decide to live down here or something, white now has this problem. And the thing is, you can cut him. You can actually cut him because, like, I don't think the ladder works this way because of this right here. So this brings in, just because he survives the corner doesn't necessarily mean it's a good invasion for him because he has to give up a lot over here because now this invasion's like pretty much impossible to stop. And you also made white also made black really thick over here, so he can actually do something like this, have the option for invasion here, and here he can still do this. So white still has to give up that much, and then he can just play here. So getting the corner doesn't necessarily mean it's advantage white in the game. Yeah, it's a little bit of territory, but he gives up a lot of influence in other places. So obviously giving me this right now is just not good. I probably should have just ignored this and went elsewhere. And like I said, here you wouldn't play this. You would probably just play this. Getting the shape up is more important than getting like 3 or 4 points here. Then you actually let me kind of like jump. And this is at this point, the game is pretty much even. At this point, the game is pretty much even. Because you have like this side, you have here, you have influence to make, points here. You could just do something like this, get that territory down there. Or you might be able to do something like this. This is good because if, like you're building influence here to get more points over here. So he does that, which is fine. I do this, and I get more here. Because obviously if you do that, I can come over up top, and this does not favor white right now. You can't really do that as black. So I do this, he does that. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the points. There's actually no invasion there, so that's not good. You have to, so that's not a good move. Like if you're gonna do anything, you either do this or you extend, I think. Going here, I know like, you're trying to build this, but I can easily just play like M14, which I think I did, yes. So that mitigates all your work here. And once again, like, you're playing this move, you're basically playing this move isn't worth much because I wouldn't have been able to invade down there anyways. And yeah, you want these points, but remember, H18 is still open. So there's not that many points there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is kind of a weird move. I didn't want to do this because this isn't really a good result for white. This, obviously, I don't like that result. I get a couple of points down there, but, then black has this potential. So I kind of did this. Like, there is this opening, but I'm not really afraid of this. Although, like, this particular thing isn't really that bad for black. Or even, like, coming up this way. Because now white has to figure out a way to actually escape. But, I mean, like, I don't think this is a good move right now. But this answer is definitely not good. Because it easily lets me do that. It lets me connect, solves all my problems. And, I was afraid of I was afraid of black getting all this territory. But now my goal's been achieved. Yes, I have to give up a little bit on the bottom, which I did. But now I've confined you to like 10 points here, which is mission accomplished. So like, while we were playing this, it was even. Now like white's solidly ahead at plus 7.6. There's no need to do that. There's really nothing white can do to threaten that. If I Tiger's Mouth, you can just retreat. It's not a big deal. So that gives me another free move, allows me to jump up here, try to strengthen my territory here. This move isn't really worth all that much either because there's not much to gain from this. Like there's no territory here to gain from this. Like each move you make, you have to ask yourself like, well, how does this benefit either my shape, my structure, or how does it get me more territory? For instance, like this move, it solidifies more territory here. It also decreases the potential you have here. Although, like I said, there's not much potential here, so that might have not been the best move. And like a move like this isn't going to be worth all that much because there's just not any territory here. Like, especially if I'm going to go ahead and do this and get that. Especially if I jump here, basically like there's no chance for you to get territory here. And jump, like this is going to be worth more than this because this actually increases my territory potential here. This, I should have just retreated. So once I did this, you do this. And the thing is, like, you can extend back in. There's not much territory for you to lose here, so destroying my territory here is more of a priority. So I actually made a mistake there, but since you did that, I'm just going to take it and then extend backwards. This move also doesn't make any sense. This move doesn't accomplish anything. There's nothing threatening here, and there's no territory to be gained here. So I'm just going to take this. He does this. This is not good because this is a sente for me. If you do this, I can just ignore you and go elsewhere. I'm going to extend here and just take this. This is probably the biggest move right now. And this is another big mistake that he made. Because you should definitely just do this. I would go elsewhere. And the thing is, like, you would still have this territory right here. You would actually still have this territory right here. And I wouldn't have any territory up here, but instead, like, the thing is that you didn't gain any territory over here in the end. And I got like a couple of points down here, so it's not good for black. This is kind of pointless because this is like half a point here. There's no other benefits of this. So at this point, I don't like. I think this is pretty big. You should definitely play this first. Get the sente, force me to do that, and then play something like this. Because like at the end game, you're just trying to outpoint your opponent, and if you give your opponent a bunch of sentes, you're just going to slowly lose the game. Sentes here. You give me that sente, and then this here. Like this is still the biggest move right now because I have to answer this. I absolutely have to answer that. See, like, you took a couple of moves here, but you didn't gain any points here, and I extended this corner, which gave me 2 or 3 points. So the difference just gets bigger and bigger as the game goes on. The rest of it is finishing, and you can see, like, my lead extending, mostly just because my sequencing is a lot better than his. But the thing is, like, when you play handicap, you should play as normal, and depend on the other player to take advantage and see if he can take advantage of this. Like here, that's bad. You can't just give me this stone. And the one thing about like handicap games when I play is like, as a white player, you're basically waiting for the black player to give you free sentes. And you're either waiting for the black player to screw up like this, or you're waiting for him to give you free sentes. And when he does either of those things, that's when you pull ahead. So even in a normal game, you should actually watch out for that. If you can actually figure out like when you can take a free sente from the other player and when you can't, I can promise you that your go play will actually like rise by several stones of rank. So that's going to be this particular game. That's going to be this particular game. I'm actually going to play another game. 015 is Moyo pivot. I'll review that game. So I'm going to play another game. Same kind of like rank difference. Same kind of rank difference. Sometimes I play handicap. Sometimes I will play even. I think generally with like 6K and above, I'll probably play even generally. And then like with like some of the lower rank players. Let's just do like another 3-stone game. So be a little closer. Yeah, if you're going to play me, you should definitely mute the stream. I just passed 3 times first.
Pass. Pass.
And I actually like this type of handicap better for the most part because it allows the other player, it actually does allow the other player to pick their own handicap. It doesn't have to be like the standard handicap. Oh wait, I should have played the corner first, which I'm going to actually play right now. I actually forgot there was an open corner. Now this is going to be a much closer game because it's 7K instead of 9K. And there is a significant difference in that rank. Usually I wouldn't play this because it's just it's a little too aggressive in a regular game. But this is actually fine in a handicap game because you have to do stuff like this in a handicap game, honestly. Otherwise, it's really hard for you to win. You just got to take advantages when you see them. I used to think like in handicap games, it's a weird way to do that, but I guess I'll just do this. This is fine. Yeah, that's actually fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Like, I think coming out here was actually pretty important. Invasions down here are also pretty important. But I needed to solidify these two first. That's an interesting thing. I'm going to pincer this way, obviously. Okay, so obviously he can... go there, so I have to jump up over here and maybe threaten these stones. Here I think I'm going to play this first. I don't know if this actually... I think I can play B3 if he doesn't answer. And it might actually be enough to kill these three. So that's why I'm doing that. It's fine. Trading that for that I think is advantage to me because now he doesn't have he doesn't have nearly the invasion down here anymore. Still has the invasion, but not nearly as problematic. And it's not completely alive, by the ways. Like, I'm not going to answer that. I don't think it's that important. So I'm just going to go here and solidify my territory down here. I don't think you can kill this up top. And as long as he doesn't present any huge problems for me, trading this for this is to my advantage. So there's actually a really big problem with doing this. I could go here and play here, but then he would kill those in there. I can't do that because now he has this move. But I will go ahead and do this. He has to go ahead and, I think, survive here. He should play this first, but he has to survive in here. If I come out here, he can take steps to kill this, is the thing. I want to play this, but it's just safer to play this right now. This is not a good move. It weakens these stones considerably. I mean, unless he doesn't answer that. But see, like I would have definitely hunted. I would have definitely Atari'd this stone if I was him. I'm gonna leave like I'm gonna see like what he can do over here. But that's not a good move because he can connect at any time, you know. And so he's not. He's pretty strong now. I'm still pretty weak. So the goal for him right now is to actually take advantage of my weakness here, and based on that advantage of this weakness here, like get as much advantage as he can. Because he already gave a lot. He gave up a lot in giving me this territory, and only living a little bit in the corner. But the advantage that he got, the advantage that he actually got, was making this really weak. So you have to know how to. So you have to know how to take advantage of that. Because if you don't, then you gave up too much. That's fine. The other thing is I can give up these 3 stones. Since there's so many stones here, those 3 aren't actually worth as much as maybe some people think. Yeah, I'm gonna go like I don't think that's a good move. I don't think there's much territory in here for him to actually get. And completely solidifying my territory down here is just not a good idea. There's a lot of territory down here. Black's definitely still ahead at this point, but I think his advantage has decidedly decreased. And as I've said, like it is, I can give up 3. I can actually give up these 3. If I do this, I can't give up the 4 anymore. I think jumping here is probably still my best move. Is that important? I feel like, can he kill me with that is the real question. These 2 stones aren't worth that much. I think I'm just gonna do this. He might be able to kill me though. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's lacking 1 liberty to actually kill me. Because like if it's just these 2 stones, I'll give him these 2 stones. Those aren't worth very much. I'm happy to take this. I don't know about happy to take that. Like I said, these two stones aren't worth much, so I really don't care about them. See, that's a mistake. You got those two stones. I still don't think you can kill me over here. I might actually be wrong about this one, but I don't think you can actually kill me over here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do this. I might actually be wrong about this. I haven't calculated this out. I don't think you can kill me over here. You can always come down here. I Atari, but you can actually play a7. So I'm not really sure if that kills me or not. It might. I don't think it does, but it might. That's a good move. This doesn't fix this. So this particular problem is still here. So I don't actually have to pay attention to this anymore because I can always live by doing this. So with that being said, there's two options. I think I'm just going to disrupt his territory here. Disrupt his Moyo over here. I think that's more important to me than this over here right now. Okay, that's fine. That was unnecessary. This doesn't achieve much purpose. There's no points here, and since he's got those through, there's no threat on that over there at all. So that's kind of like a free move for me, which is quite nice. So I'm actually going to invade here now. Here, like when I did this, if I was black, I probably would have just done something like this, or like played S7 first. It's fine. It's not a big deal for me. There's no way you can kill me, so it doesn't matter all that much. Okay, so you would need to actually answer down here. To me, this really isn't under threat. Yeah, I should probably play this sometime sooner or later. I'll give you that. But for the most part, to me, it's not under threat. Putting too many stones in here. Should probably play this sometime. It's actually decently important. Mission accomplished. Pretty sure that's alive. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. K12 would definitely be the one I would play right now. Okay. This doesn't, so fun fact, this doesn't actually work because I can just come out that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this right now. And plus, like I said, the three stones aren't worth that much. There is a certain thing that he can play that would make me a little bit nervous right now. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. I actually don't think black's that far behind. That'll put him a little behind, though. I'm definitely going to secure the fact that I'm actually alive right now. I am most definitely going to secure the fact that I can actually be alive right now. That's pretty important. He can have those three. I'll just trade those three for these four. That's also not a good move because this is Sente for me, obviously. If you want to fix this, you would just connect because connecting is actually Gote for me and you get a free move. I'm going to actually extend down here. It's pretty big. It cuts off. Well, I mean, this isn't a threat anymore, but it's just big. There's not much in there. I'm going to take the Sente first. I mean, this might look like you're getting a lot of points, but there's not that many points there. And letting me basically get all the Sentes now is pretty bad because just this move at A17 is going to be much bigger than this move that he has here. Oh, wait, can I do that? I might not be able to do that. Snap. I don't know if he needed to actually fix that. Yeah, just this move at A17 is going to be bigger than this. You should have played A18. I'm not gonna bother with that. I don't think I can kill him, so I'm not gonna bother with that. This is very big. And since I played this over here, this group is no longer under threat, regardless if he chokes off over here. Because if he extended S7, that is actually a really big move. Which one's bigger? I'll just go ahead and retreat this, I guess. Now, if he plays B16, I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah. It's not important. Said, man, just play all the centes possible here. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's fine. This works pretty well for me. Do that. You know where the turning you know where I think the turning point of this game was? I think it's because he spent 2 moves taking these 2 stones. And he was too easy and he let me live too easily here. I think that was actually like where the turning point of this game is, like giving me 2 free moves to make these two to actually take these 2 stones. That might have been a mistake, actually. Yeah, it's probably a mistake. It's definitely a mistake. Doesn't matter, though, I guess. Yeah, it's the right move. That's not the right move. Should have connected that. He does have to connect this. This is actually worth a lot because I can come out here. Yeah. I made a mistake there. It's fine, though. It's not worth that much. These are actually worth more. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else that's worth more. These are probably worth. These are worth more than those two, because I can just take one back. He takes two here. You might think there's something on either side, but there's not. There's also nothing here. That is a point, though. There's nothing there. He didn't have to connect that. I don't know if he had to connect that. I don't think so. Well, I think he should have played here instead. 'Cause that would have been an extra point, I think. I'm going to connect this. That's the same either way, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Actually, that's not a point there, is it? Doesn't matter. Just... Oh, wait, there's one here. Dang it. I knew I forgot something. Yeah. Don't think there's anything left. I'm just going... Oh, there's one here, too. Sorry. Yeah, just go this way. It's not a big deal. I don't think there's any points left. I do not think there's any points left. I think people like these handicap games more, so I'm probably going to play a couple more of them. There's nothing here. Yeah, there's the center in here. It's long enough to where it's just doesn't work. Also, I think like he did spend too many moves here to try to secure the center space, and that's generally a bad idea. Generally, like spending too many moves to secure the center space is not a great idea. No, I don't think that's going to work. Doesn't have enough liberties there. Can just go this way. I can give him that, but I'm not going to, obviously. He has 3 liberties, and that's just not enough. It doesn't actually matter how I answer this. He's going to try to play the ko, but I can just play this. There's just no eye space there. I could have also just like connected this. There's really no way he's going to live in the corner.
Pass. Remove the dead stones. You have won.
So go back and reviewing this game. Like I said, I think he spent just too many moves taking those 2 down there. 3-stone game. I actually like the passing way of handicap more. And that's mainly because like he gets to choose what kind of handicap he wants. Like realistically, like if he wanted to do this, he could have taken this handicap he could have taken that handicap as well, just 3 stones over there. So this is fine. This might have actually been the best move right now. I probably would have played that. That's fine. This generally isn't the best move, but the thing is, like, I'm just trying to create a little bit of pressure, playing a handicap game and all. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm gonna seal this up here. Increase the moyo over here a little bit, and kind of like pressure his bottom a little bit too. I mean, that's fine. I just took the advantage to do this because I knew that like he couldn't really. I just wanted to solidify this territory down here. I know that he can't really like break down there. So this doesn't work right now. So like that's actually not a good. Is that okay? So that's not a good move for me. Like I said, this is not a good move for me. It does give me the Sente, which is exactly what I wanted. It lets me extend this out. Jump, jump, jump here. Lets me get this territory. Here, I'm going to connect. Down here, I'm going to come out more. So I think he definitely should have been more aggressive. Like something like that. Like, yes, you attack me, but you're also getting like this territory underneath. So like the thing is like the point of attacking this is not to actually kill this. If I let you kill it, obviously you kill it. But the point of attacking this is actually like using this advantage to solidify your territory down here. Your stones here are not under threat at all because you can always play B14. So you're not really worried about that. Come out, he does that. That's a mistake. I'm going to go straight down because I looked at this. I'm like, well, he can't really kill me. Because, you know, if he does this, I can do this. Actually, can I? No, I can't actually. He does this. It's a good question. What would I do if he actually did that? 'Cause this actually just might be dead, unfortunately. So maybe that was the move, but I'm pretty sure this is actually alive. I'm pretty sure this is actually alive, though. It's the thing. Because if I do this, I'm always afraid of this up here. But I guess I can try doing that, but I don't know if that would actually work. I guess this. Yeah, this would be kind of tough. I think this would be dead. Oh no, this is actually co-live, I guess. I mean, like, by the way the score counter is here, he can't actually kill me over there. So I would have to think about this. I think this is alive. I don't think he can do much over here. So I'm going to do this. I mean, I'm obviously going to do that. This is another big mistake, because even if you take my 2 stones, you can't kill me down here. So basically, you spent 2 moves. You gave me 2 free moves to kill these 2 stones. Not worth. So I'm going to do this. That's the right move. I'm going to Hane this. Do that. You didn't need to do that. This is not big enough right now. You probably either come down here or do this. Solidify this territory. Right now, black is still significantly ahead. But like basically, spending these 2 moves basically moved his advantage from like plus 35 to plus 22. So that's a big disadvantage. Now he's only plus 19. I'm going to come out here to try to shovel out his territory here. This move is useless because it doesn't do anything. There's no territory here. There's no territory here. There's no threat to these stones because this is already connected. There's not much like playing over here doesn't get you this territory. So this move is a wasted move. It lets me invade down here. That's generally you don't want to do things like this because these are co's in the future. So you want to leave those for co-threats in the future. It does that. This is definitely not the right move. You might want to do that. You might want to do this. Somehow threaten this stone. That doesn't threaten this stone, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was thinking about doing this, actually. I don't think this would necessarily work right now, though. 'Cause I don't want to... Yeah, I'm giving out too much, so I can't actually do that, I guess. That's not a good move. You either clamp down this way. You either do that, or if you're not going to do that, you do this. Kill this eye space here. Doing this doesn't really do either of those. So I'm going to take this right now. Do that. Here, you probably just do this. But he does that. I'm going to go down here. He blocks. And basically, that's fine. You know, this is alive. It's alive too easily. So like the bad play here is like if you want to. The thing is, remember, like if you want to threaten this group, you have to kill my eye space. So this would actually lessen my eye space. This would definitely lessen my eye space. Or even just play just play something like this even. You know, I don't think this would kill me because you're leaving me too many ways to actually be alive. But, you know, you want to reduce my eye space. And playing something like this, I know you're looking at the territory here, but there's not many points here. So letting me do this cuts down on his advantage a lot. This is crucial. This is actually crucial right now because the thing is, like, what I want to do right now is ensure that this group is alive. This group is still a little bit in danger. Not really, but it's a little bit in danger. So you would either want to play here and force me to and try to force me to connect, and then play here, and in order to like threaten this group. Because remember, look at all your surrounding stones. Look at all your surrounding stones. You have a lot of thickness here, and my group isn't alive. So you have to take advantage of that. Because right now, just based on territory, black doesn't quite have enough. So he does this. I'm going to do this first because, you know, either you do something like this or you do like this or something, right? Because, you know, yeah, I mean, this is fine. This is actually, like, I can't actually do that. I have to do this. And, like, you get all this territory now, right? So the thing is, if I do this, you just keep on pushing. Right? And I can't let you keep on pushing. So the thing is, like, the optimal move here is here. The optimal move is actually here. But I think if I was black, I would have actually just gone something like this. Because I can't, like, even if, like, here, even if you wedge, right? Like, and I end up doing this, I mean, I'm still afraid that black's going to cut here. Not right now, but, like, I'm still a little bit afraid black's going to cut here. And at least you got this territory, which is more than he eventually got. So the thing is, like, you know, I would honestly just do this and see what white does. You know, like, he either gives you these two over here or he's going to be in real trouble here. So you want to look for these bricks because the 2 jump was a little too aggressive from me. Doing this, I'm going to do this first. And of course, this is still the best move because it, like, if I do this, if you do this, if I want to save these, I have to do that. And then you have a real avenue to attack me with here because I don't have 2 eyes. There's really not a way I can get 2 eyes too. So, like, your goal should be to attack this group. And doing that, like, I think he expected me just to connect. But the thing is, like, here's where the trade part comes in. Like, I'm going to do that first, and you should still definitely do this. He is trying to attack me here, shutting off my eye space. But the thing is, if I kill this stone here, like, this group is already alive, and you might actually think, oh, he can just push here, get these 3. That's fine. I will just take these 4 as compensation. And yes, while these 3 are a little bigger than these 4, it's enough of a trade for me, and it's enough of a trade for me that I'll just go ahead. I'm definitely going to go ahead and take it. So he has to do that. This is also a really bad move. You would just connect, because that's Gote. If I want to repair it, I would do this. I would probably go ahead and do that right now, by the way. But if you do this, like, you give me the Sente as well. So not only did you not cut anything and let me live, it was Gote for you. So now at this point, white is solidly ahead because white has all this territory down here. Black does not have really all that much. That's really big. This looks big, but once again, like, it's probably 5 or 6 points extra that you're getting here. And by doing that, you gave me essentially all the Sentes. And this is big, letting me get both of these. Honestly, like, here I probably should have just done this. But I decided to connect here. He does that. Then I'm going to do that. See, like, eventually you get maybe like 10 points here, but even if you didn't do this move, you probably still have 3 or 4 points here. That's why it's not that big. It's a difference of 5 or 6 points, most likely. So the rest of this is me finishing up and essentially getting small advantages here and there. So, like, the main thing about this game is, like, recognizing that these 2 stones really aren't worth very much if you can't kill this group. And you have to realize, like, yes, these 2 stones are worth 4 points and you get a little bit of thickness up here, but you already kind of had that. So maybe the value of these 2 stones in total might have been, I would say, like 8, 9 points, right? But you gave up 2 moves in the middle of the game to do that. So that's going to put you down several points. And of course, like, the play here was pretty bad. And also, like, the misplays here. So there's, like, fighting misplays here. Just kind of like the overall intuition here wasn't that great because you need to like reduce my eye space here and you let me get all the eye space here. And here is just like, you know, you need to fix this because if you fix this, this group isn't actually alive. So just kind of like intuitive, like how to attack and how to take advantage of while you're attacking. Like, you know, the thing is, like I explained here, attacking this group, because I did this, which is why this isn't a good move, like this group isn't under a threat anymore. So when I do this, you are perfectly fine to do this. I have to connect and then you do something like this. And since I'm still running, or you just do something like this. Since I'm still running this group, I'm not going to invade here. Because if I do, you can do something like that and attack both groups. So, you know, if you do that, as I pull this out, you just you just like solidify this territory more. Because yes, I eventually can live down here. But if I let's say I do this more, like you can just solidify all this territory down here and then you would win anyways. You got to remember the point of a game of Go is to actually just win the game, to get more points than your opponent. It's not actually to like kill all your opponent's stones. That usually ends up in a loss. So that's kind of the lesson right here for today. Like and subscribe. Please hit the bell notifications button. I'll be back next time and I'll see you guys later. So is R3 not an invasion? R3? No, R3 is not. I don't think R3 is an invasion. No. R3 is not. Because I can just do that. If you do this, even if you do this, I'm just going to connect. You might actually have something here because you can actually cut here. Like right now, there might be some invasion. I don't actually think there is. I mean, I can also just play this, I think. No, that would actually be, I mean, yeah, I don't think this lives. I don't think this is an invasion. Generally, like if I didn't have this stone and it was there, like this is only an invasion because you could actually go back this way. But now you can't go back this way. I can play something like this. And I don't think there's a way you... I don't actually think there's a way you live here. So no, I don't think it's an invasion. All right, I'll see you guys later.